Welcome, everyone, to FSPN's coverage of the Class 3A FHSAA Championship game. This is it. This is the final game for Class 3A. We are going to determine a champion today between the visiting team on the scoreboard, which are the Miami Springs Golden Hawks and the South Walton Seahawks. I'm Uncle Muggs. Pull up a chair. Join us for the state championships. Remember to subscribe and follow us on the YouTube. You should have a good one for you today. The Golden Hawks of Miami Springs are led by their head coach, David Fanshaw. And you'll find Coach Dominguez in that dugout there with them today. And on the other side of the coin, the Seahawks are led by their head coach, Nick Borthwick. And both of these teams deservingly are here in the final game. We're going to bring you the play-by-play. There I am. There's Uncle Muggs. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We are at the beautiful Lee County Sports Complex in Fort Myers. It's the home of the Minnesota Twins during spring training, and then they hand it over to the Single A affiliate called the Fort Myers Mighty Muscles, and it's a beautiful stadium. It's right off the highway here in Fort Myers, and today's another hot, steamy day. It's a little bit breezier today, maybe out of the southeast at about 10 miles an hour. The wind's blowing out towards center field, and we should have a good one for you today. Both of the teams that are participating here today have gotten here because they knocked out their opponent in the semifinal round. That's right. The Miami Springs Golden Hawks, they won their game 12-2, and I think it was a 15-2 game for South Walton. I apologize. They beat the Hernando Leopards 17-2. They bring a 31-3 record into this game. They've only lost 3 games, one to Gulf Breeze, Winter Park, and Magnolia Heights. And this is a good South Walton team. There's some big boys on that team. They've beaten IMG. They beat Arnold, which is a team that was here. Lincoln, another team that was in the semifinals here in another class, and also Pace, which is a very, very good team in North Florida. A couple guys you got to watch out for in that lineup for the Seahawks is their catcher, Hudson Quinn, and he had 5 RBIs in that semifinal game against Hernando just yesterday. So right now they're introducing the visiting team, the Miami Springs Golden Hawks, and they come in here with a record of 27-3. And they're 18-3 in their last 21 games. And they swept their way through their regional, won their semifinal game. Only had 3 losses on the season, did these Hawks. And one of them was to Cohia. They got shut out by Beleng. And Varela beat them 4-0. So some of the big boppers, the batters, the bats have come alive for the Miami Springs Golden Hawks. And leading the way is their catcher, Kelvin Pereira. He had a home run yesterday. That's 4 on the year for him. Estevez, the pitcher today, is also an excellent hitter. He's hitting .417. Look out for Austin Argote. His on-base percentage is over .500. And Roldan Perez and Jordan Torres are both hitting over .300 for the Golden Hawks. So we expect a good one here in the 3A class. It's the very last game in the 3A class. They just started introducing the starting lineup for the Seahawks. So in a minute, we're going to have to go to the audio-only feed. We are on YouTube today, and we're accepting chats. So yesterday we had a fun time chatting with the audience. So you're more than welcome to leave us a chat. I'll get to as many as I can during the course of the game. I'll bring you the play-by-play. See if I can get a better view of those Miami Springs Golden Hawks here. And there they are. They're all lined up. Let's take advantage of the video that we can get. Huge ballpark here at Hammond Field. You can see 405, 330 down the lines. Here they are introducing South Walton's team. They're taking their place on the line, and in a second we'll have the national anthem, and then we'll cut to the full audio. But a good one here today between the Seahawks of South Walton and the Golden Hawks, of Miami Springs. And here we go. We're going to get ready for the national anthem. So stand up wherever you are and appreciate those men and women that sacrifice themselves for our freedom. Get ready to play ball here in Fort Myers. Let's bring home another title. St. Thomas Aquinas, the Raiders, Joey Wardlow's Raiders. They already have their title. So do the Douglas Eagles. They have their title. The Matter Academy Lions, they have their title as well. And this will be number 4 for South Florida if we can get the Golden Hawks into that group as well. And later today, American Heritage has a chance. I'm Uncle Muggs. What's up, everybody? Send us the, the chats and all that. That was pretty fun yesterday. We'll try to get to as many as we can, but that was fun. You guys participating and being a part of the show. It's a really cool thing to do. Let me just get a couple of these things together. Remember, I'm a one-man show here. Get some of these logos up. And we should have a good one. I'm going to try to tone it down here a little bit. Some people said I got a little carried away yesterday, and I got really excited because it was an upset. These Golden Hawks, they beat a team that only had 3 losses on the year, and they run ruled them, and that was incredible. I mean, not a lot of people had the Golden Hawks winning that game against Bishop Verot, a local Fort Myers team, but they did. And here we are. We're in the final Class 3A game, and let's go over the defense for these Seahawks. Behind the plate's going to be Hudson Quinn. We talked about him. He's the power guy. Braxton Barnes is on the bump for the Seahawks, and he's a right-handed pitcher. Jake Cunningham's at first base. Lucas Caraway's at second base for the Seahawks. Frank Wells is the shortstop. Coleman Tipton Thomas is at third base. He's in left field. Nathan Whitney is in center field. And Jackson Perkins is in right field. Let me just see who's playing third base. Okay, Bruthwick is playing. So we're going to have to go to that picture of the field. And the leadoff batter is Kelvin Pereira, and he's stepping into the box for the Golden Hawks. And they have a chance to bring home a title. Brothwick is at third base. All right, Barnes gets ready. His first pitch is a strike. Let's get that scoreboard up there. Scoreboard operator. All right, there we go. Miami Springs, South Walton. All right, there's another strike, back to back. This guy throws pretty hard. He's a quick worker. Talking about Braxton Barnes, the pitcher for the Seahawks of South Walton. The 0-2 swung on and fouled back. Coleman Brothwick. I had written it down wrong, and there's one that gets away from the catcher, and the count goes to 2-2 now on the leadoff batter in a scoreless game, top of the first inning. This is the final game for the Class 3A title. Ooh, he checked his swing, but he didn't go around. The count will go full to the leadoff batter. Magdiel Estevez is on deck, and he'll be followed by Roydan Perez. Here's Braxton Barnes, and that's going to be a called strike 3 over the outside corner for the first out. Una croquetica. It's going to bring up the left-handed hitting Magdiel Estevez. Opening up the chat lines. Whoever's out there you want to chat. Chat's working. Estevez, first pitch swung on, and it's hit hard to the right side of the first baseman. He picks it up. Cunningham, he flicks over to Barnes, who's covering. The pitcher went over to first base to cover that play. And a nice 3-1 put out there. First baseman had a range to his right 3 or 4 steps and lean and grab that one. And he was able to get Barnes, who got over there very quickly because Estevez is very fleet-footed. Now the batter is Perez. Roydan, he'll be followed by Jordani Gonzalez. He's the third baseman. They're going to face Braxton Barnes of the Seahawks of Fort Walton. First pitch swinging and a foul ball. Strike 1. Yeah, a lot of people were texting me yesterday. He goes, boy, he really got animated on the broadcast. And I'm like, well, they weren't supposed to win. They weren't supposed to beat Bishop Barreau. There's one that's hit to left field for a base hit. Roydan Perez with a line drive over the shortstop. And a 2-out base hit in the top of the first inning in a scoreless game for Miami Springs. All right, I can't fight it. I got to put the glasses on, man. I'm sorry. One day I'll get contacts, but they're only readers, so I got to put them down on the end of my nose so I can see Gonzalez batting here, facing Braxton Barnes with a runner on. First pitch swinging and a ground ball right at the second baseman. He goes the short way. Caraway goes to Wells, and that's going to end the inning. We're going to head to the bottom of the first. The Springs Hawks leave 1. They get none. And you're listening to FSPN from Fort Myers. We'll be right back right after this.
Everybody's not stunned that you won today, but the way that you did it and just mercy ruling a team that's 32-2. Could you have ever imagined beating this team the way you did today, like this?
Not really, you don't go into games trying to knock teams out. You just go in and try to compete. Rock came out, set the tone, 1, 2, 3 inning, and then, the hitters just had some competitive at-bats, had some good walks, hit by pitches, a couple timely hits, and then we had that big inning, and I think it was the 6th, where it kind of just blew the game open.
Coach, what were the guys most of the time?
Right there, that was a big moment.
It was at the right spot, and I was able to make the catch, and thankfully my second baseman was there to catch it.
He was a big part of it.
But getting up to get the flip to him, like really low.
I really just tried to throw to the bag, but he was there. Honestly, without him, I wouldn't have made the play.
That would have been a momentum shifter in the game.
No, that's a tie game.
It was 2-0 at the time, and if the ball ricochets off his glove, that's 2 runs there.
2 runs, a tie game. And
you got a tie game, you got the crowd with them, and anything can happen here, And they've got plenty of experience. They're a good team, You said it. They're 30-2 or something happened.
Bob, talk to me about out there today, getting settled in, and you get.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Uncle Muggs here for FSPN's coverage of the Class 3A final game. It's the FHSAA Fort Myers. It's where everybody wants to be. And here's where the Hawks are, the Golden Hawks of Miami Springs, and they're facing the Seahawks of Fort Walton. The head coach, of course, is David Fanshaw, and he's at the helm of the mighty Hawks. And on the other side of the coin, we have Nick Brothwick. Nick is the head coach for the Seahawks. We're heading to the bottom of the first inning. Let's go over the defense for the visitors on the scoreboard, the Golden Hawks of Miami Springs. The battery is going to be Magdiel Estevez, the lefty, the senior. And behind the plate, it's Kelvin Pereira. Darian Soto's playing first base. Next to him, it's Jordan Torres. Roydan Perez is the shortstop. And to his right, playing third base, is Jordani Gonzalez. In left field today, it's Austin Argote. Justin Mercado's in center field. And Andres Suarez is not batting, but he's only playing defense, much like Caraway. Lucas Caraway for the Seahawks. He's just playing second base. So Frank Wells, the shortstop, steps in. Cameron Tipton Thomas is the second batter. Coleman Brothwick, the third baseman, is batting third. And then it's the pitcher, Braxton Barnes, and they're all going to face the lefty here in the bottom of the first inning. So Estevez is starting off from the stretch. And he comes set to Wells. Takes a little bit of time. Now he kicks high. Throws that one low and inside. Estevez does not work as quickly, not even remotely close to Roque. Roque's a machine. Roque was the winning pitcher yesterday for Miami Springs. Two 2-0 the count to the shortstop Wells, the South Walton Seahawk. That one's way high. Count goes 3-0. Estevez had an excellent final game against St. Brendan's to clinch their way here to Fort Myers. He had 10 strikeouts in that one. And he's trying not to lose Wells here. Here comes the 3-0 pitch from Estevez. And there's that percentage again. After 3-0, everybody throws a strike. And mostly everybody's taking. See what happens here with the 3-1. Kicks, and that one swung and fouled straight back, and the count will go full. And he got him with 2 strikes, but he's wasted a lot of bullets to get there. It's a nice afternoon. I can't stress of how hot it is here in Fort Myers. Some of the players from other teams were complaining about cramps. Here's the payoff pitch. It's in the dirt, an easy take for Wells. And the Seahawks will have their leadoff runner on base for their left fielder, Cameron Tipton Thomas. So nobody out, no score. Runner on first. See where Gonzalez plays. Right now he's way back there, so he's not worried about the bunt. The lefty Estevez comes set. He takes a look at Wells on first. Now he comes to Thomas at home plate, and that's a strike taken. Coleman Brothwick is on deck. Tipton Thomas from the right side, right-handed batter, slightly open stance, like his foot is like a foot behind his right foot, like his left foot. That one's way inside for a ball, an easy take. Wells has a decent lead on first base, being held on by Soto. Your double play combination, of course, is Torres and Perez. And here's the 1-1 from Estevez after a peek at Wells. That one's fouled straight back and over the net. From the sound of it, somebody made a great catch. And if you come here to Hammond Stadium, you get to keep the foul balls. So that's right. That's $12 every time there's a foul ball or a home run. I don't know who's paying for this. That one's low and inside. Brings the count to 2-2 with nobody out, no score, bottom of the first inning in a Class 3A championship game for the state ring. See that we're getting some messages already. That one's hit hard to Gonzalez. He flips it over to second base. Torres flips it back to Soto for a double play. A pitcher's best friend. Oh, that was textbook. Gonzalez scoops it up, fires to Torres right on the money. Plenty of time. Got Tipton Thomas by like 5 steps. That's how quickly they turned that one. Coleman Brothwick, the third baseman, steps up. With 2 outs and nobody on to face the lefty, who bounces that one in there for a ball. That was a nice double play. Mercado's in center field. Andres Suarez is in right field, and they're playing deep. And Argote's 3 or 4 steps from the warning track over there, where they're respecting Coleman Brothwick here. And he's a big boy. Batting from the right side, again, a slightly open stance. Here's Estevez' pitch. The 2-0 is taken for a strike. So a double play. Can't stress how deep the outfield is, and this is a huge ballpark. 330 down the lines. That one swung on and fouled at the plate. The count goes even at 2-2 to the third baseman, Coleman Brothwick, for the South Walton Seahawks. Seahawks are 31-3, 32-3, I guess, with the yesterday's win. Estevez holding the ball a long time. Here's the payoff pitch, and it's lined into left field. Wow, this guy had some zip. That ball got out there in a hurry. It looked a lot like Perez's line drive, but just a little bit harder. So almost identical innings here. A 2-out base hit. It's going to bring up Braxton Barnes. He's the pitcher, and he's also the fourth batter for the Seahawks of Fort Walton. Bottom of the first, no score from Fort Myers, the state final for Class 3A. Oh, Stacy's sending us a message from South Walton. Estevez takes a peek at Brothwick on first base, and that one's fired in there a little high. Stacy says South Walton Seahawks are from Santa Rosa Beach, Florida, in Walton County. Here's the pitch from Estevez, and it's inside for a strike. Count goes even at 1-1 with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Rebecca Field of Dreams, thanks for chiming in. She says it sounds like off to a good game. It's two good teams, two well-coached teams. Swing and a miss, two good pitchers. And actually, they're battling each other right now. It's pitcher on pitcher with the runner on first for the Seahawks. Seahawks are looking sharp. They're wearing the traditional home white with the dark green pinstripes and the green hunter green numbers. Here's the 2-1. Taken high to even the count. Again, Estevez always from the stretch, even if there's runners on base or not. And the Hawks looks pretty much like the uniforms they wore yesterday. Here's the 3-1 pitch. The runner goes, swung on and fouled at the plate. We'll do the 2-2 all over again. The 3-2 all over again, I apologize. Yeah, looking like a good one. So Rebecca, she went to Miami Springs. My son plays in JV South Walton now, so I love both teams. Oh my goodness, she's torn between both of them. You went to Springs, and your son is a JV player at South Walton, the Seahawks. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'd be torn too. What a dilemma. I know who I'm going for though, Becca. Here's the payoff pitch with 2 outs and a runner on. Well, he's really holding the ball a long time. Finally lets it go, and that one's hit high in the air to Argote in left field. He's got plenty of room. 2-3 feet before the warning track in left center field makes the third out. The Seahawks are going to leave one. They get none. We head to the top of the second inning from Fort Myers' Hammond Stadium, and you're listening to FSPN. We'll be right back right after this. And the Hawks need 1 out to punch their ticket to Fort Myers to the state tournament. This could be it. I'm going to try to get an interview with head coach David Fanshaw. Thanks for watching, everyone. Uncle Muggs here with David Fanshaw, the winner of the final. And David, I know there's a lot of work yet to be done, but how does it feel to get this far, to get to Fort Myers, to bring your team to the championship?
I mean, it feels amazing. Just the kids have been almost excellent all year. They've bought into what we've tried to preach all year, and throughout the playoffs and obviously in the regional final, there's nothing else that you can ask for. Our leaders stepped up. Rock and Max were great all postseason, and as well as the other seniors. The kids deserve it. The program deserves it. So there's no better feeling.
It's been a long time since Miami Springs has headed to a championship. Are you going to bring one home for the Hawks?
Oh, we're gonna try. School made it for the first time in 2019, and we lost to a good Tampa Jesuit team. And I remember sitting in that post-conference room and telling them that we'd be back. It took a while, but we're going back.
All right, Coach, congratulations once again. Now you can reserve your hotel room.
Yeah, I can.
All right, head coach David Fanshaw heading to Fort Myers with his Golden Hawks for the 3A championship, and you're watching FSPN.
Welcome back, everybody, to Fort Myers. Give you a quick peek of the field here. Check out the field. It's not live coverage. We're not describing the game or rebroadcasting it in any way. We're just showing you the field live. All right, I'm going to turn that off before I get in trouble. Uncle Muggs, the Hawks against the Seahawks. And I mean, in nature, I wonder who would win. If a Hawk could beat a Seahawk. Chime in on that. And Madeline Roque is listening over there in Miami Springs. Ella es la hermana de Kevin, el que ganó ayer. On occasion, I'm going to switch to Spanish. And it's a very popular language in Miami. So I'm going to go to Spanish every once in a while, just para los oyentes en Miami. De vez en cuando voy a hablar en español. Ahora para el batear para los Hawks de ahí de Miami Springs, que son los vecinos tuyos ahí en Hialeah, está Darian Soto. Y le tira la primera bola. Swing and a miss there by Darian Soto for the first pitch of the top of the second inning. South Walton. I keep wanting to say Fort Walton. There's a foul ball. Quickly 0-2 to the first baseman, Darian Soto. The DH, Taylor Ancheta, is on deck. And then it's Jordan Torres. And if anybody gets on, it's Austin Argote, the left fielder. And they're going to face Braxton Barnes, who throws one up and in for ball one to Soto, I'm sorry. And Barnes works pretty quick. He gets his sign. There's a swing and a miss for a croqueta on a ball. I think that was off the plate inside. It looked like it was low and inside. So strike three for Soto, one out for the Hawks. And here comes the left-handed batting number 23, Taylor Ancheta. He's going to face Braxton Barnes. And Braxton from here looks like a big guy. He's thick. No es ningún flaco ni nada. El pitch está fuertecito. First pitch, and that swung on and hit deep off the right field. Perkins is going back. He looks up, and you could say goodbye to that one. Taylor Ancheta puts the Hawks on the board with a home run here in the top of the second inning. And what a bomb, a no-doubter. Off the bat of number 23, Taylor Ancheta. 1-0, Miami Springs. Wow. Tremenda bomba. Taylor Ancheta ha metido una raya para right field. And it was a no-doubter. That was like 4, 5, 6 rows into the bleachers over there. Qué barbaridad. El right fielder, yo lo miré, el right field se viró, empezó a mirar, y después dejó de correr, y cuando yo dije, wow, la puso en las gradas. So, a home run here in the top of the second. Wow. All right, Kovamat says that I look like your dentist. I look like a dentist, de verdad. You know, I got dentists. Come on, bro. Dentists. I don't know. That one swung on and hit to the right side. Torres pops it up to his counterpart, the second baseman, Lucas Caraway, for the second out of the inning. So Ancheta's home run puts the Hawks on the board. I look like a dentist. Qué barbaridad. Hay una persona aquí en el texto que me dice que yo me parezco al dentista. But aside from that, great casting. Tuned in yesterday, too. Hialeah High should have been in the Final Four. They were not. Pack Ritual. Hialeah High, the Thoroughbreds. Are you kidding me? First pitch is a ball to Argote. He's the 8th batter and the left fielder. And now the count goes even to Argote. But hey, if that old added whatever, it holds up, score first, win first. This is a game of first. Start sizing these guys up for a ring if it's like that. Argote from the right side swings at an off-speed pitch in the dirt. I mean, really in the dirt. For strike 2. Mercado's on deck. Here's the pitch. That one's hit hard on the left side. And boy, David Fanshaw has just made a play in the third base coach's box. That is the envy of any third baseman in the league. And he went out there with that big right paw and just knocked it down. Argote swings and misses. That's the 3rd out of the inning. But the Golden Hawks are going to get one. We're going to head to the bottom of the 2nd where your score 1-0 from the state championship game in Fort Myers. And you're listening to Uncle Muggs. Send us some chats. Those are fun. We'll be right back.
South Florida high school baseball fans, this one's for you. Every Sunday at 6 a.m., grab your coffee and get ready for the most entertaining, informative, and downright hilarious recap of the week in high school baseball. Hosted by Anthony Chappie Castillo and Brian Uncle Muggs Gonzalez, this show covers all the action from the past week. Big hits, game-saving plays, standout moments, and more. Check out the Player Spotlight, where we sit down with some of South Florida's top talent and get to know the stars behind the stats. Then swing by the Coach's Corner, where we interview local head coaches and dive into their strategy, leadership, and the heart of the game. And don't miss your chance to be part of the show. We feature fan interaction via Instagram, so send us your hot takes, questions, and shout-outs. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay in the loop and help us grow this incredible baseball community. Every play, every player, every Sunday. This is the South Florida High School Baseball Recap Show. Don't miss it.
All right, welcome back. Yeah, don't miss the Sunday show, the recap show we do every Sunday with Chappie. And we're going to have a good one. It's going to be the state finals. And we're also going to talk about the FSPs. I have a FSP with me right here. We're going to talk about that in another break. But getting back to action here, it's a 1-0 ball game, and we're heading to the bottom of the 2nd inning. And the South Walton Seahawks are going to send up to bat their 5th, 6th, and 7th batters in the likes of Jackson Perkins, Charlie Wilcox, and Nathan Whitley. And they're going to face Magdiel Estevez, who throws the first one over for a ball outside. Estevez is a left-handed pitcher who throws from the stretch all the time. Perkins, a right-handed batter. Estevez likes to hold the ball. There's a ground ball to Perez's left, 3 or 4 steps from behind second base. He throws across his body for the first out of the inning to Darian Soto over there at first base. So quickly 1 out. Nice play. Went to his left, 4 or 5 steps, stayed low, scooped it right up. Y se la tiró a Soto en primera base. El shortstop, Roydán Pérez, acaba de hacer una jugada rutina. Poquitico buena, porque se tuvo que mover bastante para sacar el primer out aquí del inning. Y ahora viene a batear Charlie Wilcox, que también es un bateador derecho. Y el lanzador es Estevez. Y la primera que tira le tiró y le falló. So strike 1 with 1 out to Charlie Wilcox. He's the DH. He's a right-handed batter. He's going to face the left-handed Magdiel Estevez with 1 out on a nice play by Roydan Perez. That one short hops the catcher Pereira. The count evens at 1-1 with 1 out in a 1-0 game. Bottom of the 2nd inning. Uncle Muggs from Fort Myers. Been here for a week. That one's a little bit outside. And I've seen Estevez, the pitcher. I've seen him a couple starts. I've seen his last 2 or 3 starts. And, he's very competitive. He'll get a lot of strikeouts. His last outing, he had 10 strikeouts against San Brendan's. And he's a battler. He's one of the guys you give the ball to in the first inning, and he gives it back to you in the last inning. A swing and a miss. And he's a warrior out there. And when he's not pitching, you can find him in left field. He's a second batter. And I really don't know where these Hawks would be without Estevez. Here comes the 2-2. Estevez takes a long time to let go of the ball. He finally kicks and deals, pops that one up over here to me, and that's going to go in the stands, and we'll do the 2-2 all over again. We'll get to some of your text. Hialeah High was pretty good this year. Says Mia Hiron and Pack Ritual. Hialeah High is Springs rivals. There's one outside and fills up the count at 3-2. Okay, you guys that are saying that Hialeah should have been, I'm going to look them up. But there's no way with the strength of schedule or the division that they're in that they should be anywhere near Fort Myers. You keep them, on I-75 over there by, they don't belong in Fort Myers. I love the thoroughbreds and everything, There's strike three, a nice croquetica there to Wilcox from Estevez. It's going to be the second out of the inning. Hialeah High. Canes Cats Heat 305. I know that guy. Come on, Springs. Let's go, Mugs. Canes Cat Heat 305. He's the man on Instagram. We've texted before. The left-handed batting Nathan Whitley steps in, takes ball one high with 2 outs. Hialeah High. Ustedes me tienen ahora manía. Let me concentrate here. Stop talking boberías. Hialeah High swinging a ground ball to the right side, foul. Let's look up Hialeah High. Estevez comes set, and he holds the ball for a long time so we can have a conversation. Finally, he comes and throws one high for ball 2. And I'm looking up Hialeah High para ver si es verdad. I don't even know what class they're in. Estevez comes set again. Again, he takes forever. I'm getting a tan out here waiting for this guy. Finally kicks and deals, and he throws one over Whitney and all the way to the backstops. I mean, he made Mitch Williams look like he had control. Remember Wild Thing? Wild Thing had more control than Estevez did on that pitch. You see, Hialeah Miami Lakes, Hialeah Thoroughbreds, coached by Reggie Rodriguez. I love the name. I love the Reggie name. One of my favorite players. Here's the 3-1 to Nathan Whitney. Up and away, up and in. And the Seahawks will have the runner on first base with 2 outs. And that's 2 bases on balls and only 1 croqueta. You want that average to be different. You want it to be more croquetas than bases on balls. And that's not the case here in the bottom of the second inning. Second time around here. The 8th batter steps in, Quinn Hudson. He's the catcher. And I heard he's got some pop. Well, I read that he had some pop. Takes one for a strike. All right, getting back to you, Patrick Ritual and Mia Hiron over here on the chat. Hialeah High was 6-11, caballeros, 6-11. Quinn swings at that one mightily and misses. Quickly, there's 2 strikes to the Seahawk catcher. Don't waste your time with that, Muggs. Wall Street Viking. I'm going to get to your message. Walton is a superior program, but Springs has the underdog story going. You're right, Wall Street Viking. They got the Cinderella slip around. The runner goes. He gets picked off. He's going to take a quick throw from Soto. What a dive by Perez. Perez gets tangled up with the runner. He had to dive to catch that ball. I can't even begin to explain what an incredible play that was. Estevez picks off Whitney. We're going to end this inning. I'm going to come back and talk about it, but that was unbelievable. And now one of the coaches is out there arguing. But he dove into the runner's way, and they all got tangled up about a foot before second base. Darian Soto from third base on a pickoff threw the ball over to second base. And, wow. So that argument is still going on between the third base coach and the base umpire. And things are going to stay the way they are. We're going to head to the top of the third inning with the score 1-0 from Fort Myers and you're listening to FSPN. Boy, that looked like a wrestling move. We'll be right back.
Well, Chappie, before we get into the recap, some of the pitchers from around the league were giving out so many croquetas, and they were nice enough to send us some. These right here are some special Miami Springs croquetas from Kevin Roque. These are delicious. You got to try the Andy Espinoza croquetas. Those are really good. And I heard that the lefty croquetas are the best. The Luis Sosa and Magdiel Estevez ones. Those are really good.
I heard in this, though, there's also some Marcelo Rodriguez croquetas.
Rodriguez makes a good croqueta.
Rios from Columbus makes some really good ones over there.
And you got to try the Dominican croquetas from our friend Alfred Rosario and Isaac Vidal. They make a very special.
Yeah, those Dominicans, they know how to make them real good.
Welcome back to Fort Myers. Uncle Muggs bringing you the play-by-play on a Class 3A final game where the winner of this game takes home a ring. We just had a bang-bang play with the shortstop and a runner for the Seahawks. And I'm reading some of these texts that I'm getting, these chats. All right, guys, I appreciate that you're listening and everything. That's really cool. Pero let's lay off of that Hialeah High being here. That's just not going to work. All right, they only played 17 games this season, Hialeah High, the Thoroughbreds, of which 5 of them they got shut out. Okay? I personally think Hialeah's record doesn't define them. That team was really good. I think they had a lot of talent, and they would have won state if it wasn't for all the injuries. Justin Mercado steps in from the left side. He's the center fielder. He's the 9th batter for the Golden Hawks of Miami Springs, who only lost 3 games this year. He squares to bunt and takes one, and I think that was a strike. Yes, it was. Top of the 3rd. Mercado's up. No score. 1-0, sorry, 1-0. 1-0. 1-1 the count now to Mercado. That ball was low. Barnes, and that one's smoked down the right field line. That one's going all the way to the corner in the right field, and it's going to bounce around a little bit for Jackson Perkins, who picks it up cleanly. Mercado's on his way to third base. Here's the cutoff, and he's not going to have him. He could have stood up and had himself a cafecito over there because he slid por gusto. He was in there with, oh my goodness, a leadoff triple for the Golden Hawks. They keep putting the pressure on the Seahawks. Ay, papa, so with nobody out, the Golden Hawks with a runner on third base and a legitimate scoring opportunity because they have their leadoff batter, one of their best hitters, the catcher, Kelvin Pereira, who went deep. And, of course, I would come out and talk to Braxton Barnes. And that's just what the third base coach or the head coach, Nick Brothwick, I think that's him. He's going out there to have a talk with him. And I think it's just a talk. I don't think they're going to yank him yet. But you never know. Oh, wait, I think we do have a change of pitcher here. But he's one of the infielder guys. Okay, Barnes is going to stay in the infield. And what number is that guy? All right, the third baseman, Coleman Brothwick, is going to come in and pitch. This is a weird move. His name is Coleman Brothwick, right-handed pitcher. Another big guy. Oh, I failed to mention to that before. I saw this South Walton team up close the other day. I think everybody there is like 6'3". The Bat Boys like 5'11". I mean, everybody's huge on that team. They have about 8 guys que son unos escaparates. Los equipos de South Walton, yo los vi ayer y son grandísimos. Y ahora el nuevo pitcher estaba jugando tercera base. Se llama Coleman Brothwick. Y ahora va a lanzar para los Seahawks. Y no sé si se lesionó el que abrió, Braxton Barnes, pero le está dando 8 lanzamientos. O eso fue un cambio de pitcher nada más. Entonces, el pitcher que estaba pichando, Braxton Barnes, ahora está jugando tercera base. Cambiaron de puesto él y la tercera base. Ahora el cuadro está dentro. The infield is in now with nobody out for the leadoff batter, Pereira. So something's going to happen here. Stay tuned. Oh, hard hit ball right at the second baseman. He's got one way to go. He looks Mercado back to the base, and the ball wasn't hit that hard. It went to the second baseman who was drawn in. He took a peek at Mercado. Mercado couldn't go anywhere. And it's going to bring up the left-handed hitting Magdiel Estevez. And if Estevez turns on one, ay, papa, that first baseman, Jay Cunningham, he's in on the grass, so is the rest of the infield. One out, top of the third, 1-0. Here's the pitch from Brothwick, and it's taken for a strike. Drawn in infield for the Seahawks. I'm going to get to all these. Safe. There's a hard hit ball. No, a soft hit ball again. It looked like the same one. Lucas Caraway has caught two balls that weren't even hit hard. That one he underhanded to the first baseman, Cunningham. So 2 4-3s after a leadoff triple. Oh, Roydan Perez now has a little bit of pressure on him here to bring that run home for the Hawks. Hay un corredor en tercera base y 2 outs rapidito. No pudieron entrar la carrera de los Hawks de Miami Springs. Now everybody's back. Everybody's playing normal death, and Roydan squares to bunt. He took one low. Did he leave the bat in there? No, ball one. 2 outs. Leadoff triple by Justin Mercado could get wasted here unless the Hawks get a run. That would be a shame. There's a pitch that's taken for a ball. Patrick Ritual says that Miami Springs didn't face no competition in the playoffs, nor in the season. They had an easy way to state. There's a hard one. Oh, and it goes off the foot of the pitcher over to third baseman, and a lucky break for the Seahawks. Oh, my gosh. That hit the pitcher's right foot. It ricocheted up in the air. The third baseman, who was the pitcher, Barnes, picked it up and fired to Cunningham, and he got the out at first before. Wow, for the force. What a lucky break. I hope that's not a momentum shifter. We're going to come back to the bottom of the third with your score 1-0 from the state final 3A championship in Fort Myers. Wow, that was crazy.
So today I have the honor to give out the very first FSP award to a junior who very well deserves it. This guy hit over 365. He had 35 hits, 31 RBIs. He was consistent as heck at third base defensively, like you wouldn't believe. He was a leader on this team. When they asked him to play another position, he says, no problem, buddy, I'm going to do my best. I want to give this award to Yodeki Quevedo, Junior Player of the Year. Thank you very much, buddy. Thank you. All right, I want to give you this award. It's the first one, and hopefully one day you will be an answer to a trivia question that who received the first FSP, and it was this guy right here. So if you could do me the honor, and please, sácamela, Yodeki. There it is, the Junior Player of the Year, Yodeki Quevedo, the very first FSP. And once again, you guys, thank you very much. Parents, everybody involved, thank you for that.
All right, welcome back. Uncle Muggs here in Fort Myers bringing you the 3A championship. And a crazy, crazy turn of events there in the previous inning. Leadoff triple by Mercado, 2 ground outs to second base, and then a hard hit ball up the middle by Perez that went off the pitcher's heel or hit the rubber. In any case, the third baseman got it, threw him out at first. Run didn't score. Hudson Quinn is still the batter because he got Whitley got picked off the inning before, so Quinn's up again in the bottom of the third. First pitch is taken for a strike by Estevez, the left-handed pitcher. Everybody seems to be the same. Gonzalez, Perez, Torres, and Soto in the infield. Estevez behind, Pereira behind the plate, catching for Estevez. High kick and a deal, and that's a check swing, and it goes to the right side. Quickly 0-2 the count to the catcher for the Seahawks. Hudson Quinn, the first baseman, Jake Cunningham, is on deck. Wow, what a play that was. I mean, I heard it all the way up here. It either hit his shoe or it hit the balk. It hit the rubber. In any case, what a break for the Seahawks. Estevez holds the ball a long time. Throws that one over, just missed. 2-1 the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. To the 8th batter and the catcher for the South Walton Seahawks. Estevez from the stretch all the time. Holds the ball a long time. Finally kicks and deals. Swung on and a little soft grounder to the second baseman. Torres comes in a lot on it, and he has to underhand it to Soto for the first out. When he sprinted in there, he came in from second base, and he looked like a track star that the gun went off, and he just came in. You like those sound effects? You're going to have those time to time here in the Uncle Muggs broadcast. Where are my nephews out there? I'm not getting any text from any chats from my nephews. Canes Cat Heat 305 says the Auburn commit coming to pitch. Auburn commit, I guess that's for the Seahawks, right? And Madeline Broque, always a loyal listener. Jay Cunningham is the batter to face Estevez. That one swung on and hit to the right side. Quickly, 1 out, 1 strike. Some say Estevez, others say Estevez. I'm going to say both. That way I'm not wrong. So Estevez, Magdiel kicks and deals, and that one swung and missed by the 9th batter, Jake Cunningham. Quickly 0-2 with 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd in a 1-0 game. Estevez gets his sign from Pereira. And the batter called timeout, and it was granted to him. He steps out. Frank Wells, the shortstop, is on deck for the Seahawks out of South Walton. Estevez kicks and deals, and that one's fouled at the plate. One to 0 game. Andres Suarez is only playing defense for the Golden Hawks. And there's a hard hit grounder to the left side, and it's foul. Because Estevez, the pitcher, is batting for himself. They also have a DH. So Andres Suarez is only playing right field. And out of the 3 outfielders, he's the one that is the most shallow right now. Because Mercado's way out there. And Argote's in left field. And I guess they're having him play these guys back. And I wouldn't, it's not a bad move. We've got some huge guys there. Even this guy up to bat, the last batter. He's tall, lanky, huge, tall. Swing and a miss. It gets away from Estevez. He gathers it, flicks it over to Soto for the 2nd out of the inning. It is super hot here. I can't tell you how hot it is unless you're here. I don't know how hot it is back in Miami. Pero caballero, aquí hace un calor que raja piedra. The first batter is up. El primer bate está bateando con 2 out para los Seahawks de South Walton. Estevez, el zurdo, el pitcher para Miami Springs. Levanta el pie y lanza un strike. La miró Frank Wells para el primer strike. Looked at by Wells, the first strike. First pitch strike. Check swing. First base umpire says yes, he did go around. It was in the dirt. It kind of bounced away from Pereira. And quickly, 2 strikes to the shortstop, Frank Wells. And he walked his first time up. And he was in the front end of that double play in the first inning. So this is top of the lineup for the Seahawks. Estevez takes his time. Swing and a miss and another one in the dirt. Croqueta number 3 for Estevez. We're going to head to the top of the 4th inning already. Man, this game's flying by. Uncle Muggs from Hammond Stadium in Fort Myers. Stick with us. This is going to get good. You know lo que tengo aquí? It's not Mississippi State. It's Miami Springs, baby. Miami Springs. Sal Hialeah in the house. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the top of the fourth inning in the Class 3A final game in the FHSAA Championship from Fort Myers. It's the Lee County Sports Complex. It's called Hammond Stadium. It's a beautiful place. There's like lawn areas for the kids to come and play. You can walk around the entire stadium. There's all kinds of things. And if you come for a Mighty Muscles game, that's the single A affiliate here for the Minnesota Twins. There's like 3 bars. They got pina colada things going on. And I've been told by Kane's Cat Heat 35, who is chatting with us right here on YouTube, and you can do the same as we watch Gonzalez step in, the fourth batter for the Hawks. He'll be followed by Darian Soto, Taylor Ancheta, and Jordan Torres, and they're going to face what I'm told to be is the Auburn commit, the pitcher Brothwick, and he's 6'6". No wonder from here he looks huge. And I'm 200 yards away from the guy. First pitch is a ball, and that one's lined into left field for a base hit, a leadoff base hit for Gonzalez. Giordani, the third baseman, sticks one. That's as beautiful as a base hit that you can see from a right-handed. Went right between the shortstop and the third baseman into left field, 2 or 3 hops to the left fielder, throw it in. That'll be easy money. Easy money if you could do that every time. And he made it look so effortless. Darian Soto steps in from the right side with the runner on to face the 6'6" righty, the Auburn commit, Coleman Brothwick. He throws him hard. Cunningham's on first base holding on Gonzalez. Your double play combination is Caraway and Wells up the middle. Here's the pitch, and that one's hit into right field. Perkins gets under it, catches it. Gonzalez goes back to first. There's 1 out. So Kane's Cat Heat 305 is going to be my new statistician. And the next time I see you, or if you DM me your address, I am going to send you an FSPN hat. High quality stuff. It's fitted. I only have small, medium. So, si eres cabezón, it's not going to fit you. I'll try to get you a medium large if that's what you like. Archetta with the home run in the previous inning takes a check swing that the home plate umpire called. And it was an awkward swing. He looked like he was going to hit a 9-iron. Kind of tucked his arms in and did a check swing, and the ball bounced, and it was not pretty for Ancheta, but it only takes one. Gonzalez is bouncing around. And Brothwick jumped off the rubber like with both feet. He looked like a ninja. And everybody's asking for a balk. But he did like one of those Gungan stuff. The guy that goes Gungan stuff. And there's one that's hit foul to the left side. A lot of room here, but not in foul territory. As you go towards the fence here at Hammond Stadium, it kind of tapers where it's hard to explain, but the line kind of pinches in out there. So by the plate, there's a whole bunch of room, but as you go down the lines, there's not. And there's a strike taken by Archeta on the outside corner. And he can't believe it. He puts his arms up, and croquetica there for Brothwick. At the light, you want to come to, and who is Kane's Cat? Kane's Cat's Heat 305. That may be J-Ro Keach. That may be the broadcaster, the announcer there. And I thought I gave you one already, but if not, I'm going to give you one. Got a bunch in the car, so you guys participate a lot. Torres steps in, and you're not going to believe this. That hit the bottom part of the bat. Okay? No doubt you heard it. It flicked weird. Torres kind of went with his hands towards the ball and didn't want to swing, and it hit. It's called el cabo del bate, the bottom part, the nub. There's a swing and a foul straight back for strike 2. 2 outs. A couple weird things already happened here today, maybe 3 weird things, but the first one was that line drive off Perez's bat that hit the rubber. That was some bad luck. Jordani's leadoff hit. He's still on first base. Swing and a miss and a croqueta, and that's going to end the inning. The Hawks are going to leave one, folks. They get none. This is going to be a battle royal. We head to the bottom of the 4th in a 1-0 game from Fort Myers, the state championship for Class 3A. Yeah, if you got any belitas over there in Miami Springs, you guys are close to Hialeah. You might run by una botanica and get us some herbs or something. Get some candles. Go ask Matter for those candles. Matter's got good candles. We'll be right back.
Well, Chappie, before we get into the recap, some of the pitchers from around the league were giving out so many croquetas, and they were nice enough to send us some. These right here are some special Miami Springs croquetas from Kevin Roque. These are delicious. You got to try the Andy Espinosa croquetas. Those are really good. And I heard that the lefty croquetas are the best. The Luis Sosa and Magdiel Estevez ones. Those are really good.
I heard in this, though, there's also some Marcelo Rodriguez croquetas.
Rodriguez makes a good croqueta.
Rios from Columbus makes some really good ones. Excellent. Over there.
And you got to try the Dominican croquetas from our friend Alfred Rosario and Isaac Vidal. They make a very special.
Yeah, those Dominicans, they know how to make them real good.
Uncle Muggs bringing it back, bottom of the 4th inning in a Class 3A championship game. Yeah, they got the gloves on. It's 1-0, and I smell a pitcher's duel. And the dueler for the Hawks is Estevez, Magdiel Estevez. Where on the other hand, the Seahawks from South Walton, they needed 2 pitchers. They started off with Braxton Barnes, and he decided he wanted to go play third base. And Coleman Brathwaite came in, the Auburn commit, the big boy, 6'6". And right now it's Cameron Tipton Thomas. He's the left fielder for the Seahawks, and he's going to face the left-hander. Thomas hit into a double play his last time up. And Estevez one-hops him for a ball. Estevez has 3 strikeouts, 2 walks, and he's given up a base hit. So not too bad, not super sharp. It's 1-0. He's winning. Swinging a hard hit ball to Gonzalez. Backhands it like a matador in Spain. He went ole with that one. Came up firing to Soto, and a spectacular catch and throw by Gonzalez. Jordani Gonzalez at third base. Wow, what hands. It looked like he was doing that drill that they do backhanded, that they short hop and short hop and short hop. And that's what it looked like. Coleman Brathwaite, the big third baseman who's now pitching, is up to bat to face Estevez, and he's a right-handed big guy. Swing and a miss, and he fouled that one off. Nice play. Hard hit ball, 2-bouncer. And Gonzalez is playing almost on the grass over there in third base. I mean, he's in. And Argote is so deep. That ball's hit hard to the left side. Gonzalez dives, and he comes up with it. Fires to Soto that stretches and grabs it for the second out of the inning. Back-to-back. Tremenda jugada. Great plays by Jordani Gonzalez over there at third base. My goodness. Oh, hey, he's got like the Greg Nettles thing going. Oh, boy. And he's playing back, so he caught it quick. These are 2 ropes that they hit him. That's why he had plenty of time. That ball got there in a hurry. So quickly, 2 5-3s, and it's going to bring up the pitcher, the opening pitcher, Braxton Barnes. He's now playing third base for the Seahawks of South Walton. Wow. Pitching and defense win games. They're doing both of it right here. The Hawks are really taking it to these guys, man. They're being almost perfect. And again, Gonzalez almost in the grass. He's a little bit closer now for Barnes. But like 2 steps closer. Swing and a miss. And it looked like he kind of got fooled or he kind of got handcuffed there because that was a weird swing by Barnes. For strike 1. Sorry, 1-1. Nobody out, 1-0, bottom of the 4th. Estevez on the mound for the Hawks. Swing and one, comebacker. 2-3 bouncer right to Estevez. He scoops and fires to Soto. Third out of the inning, 3 up, 3 down for the Seahawks. We head to the top of the 5th, and things are getting interesting. It's 1-0 in favor of Miami Springs. The Golden Hawks are going to come up to bat. And you're listening to FSPN. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Everybody's not stunned that you won today, but the way that you did it and just mercy ruling a team that's 32-2. Could you have ever imagined beating this team the way you did today, like this?
Not really, you don't go into games trying to knock teams out. You just go in and try to compete. Rock came out, set the tone, 1, 2, 3 inning, and then, the hitters just had some competitive at-bats, had some good walks, hit by pitches, a couple timely hits, and then we had that big inning, and I think it was the 6th, where it kind of just blew the game away.
Coach, what were the guys most like?
Right there, that was a big moment.
It was at the right spot, and I was able to make the catch. And thankfully, my second baseman was there to catch it.
He was a big part of it.
But getting up to get the flip to him, like really low.
I really
like
just
that.
tried to throw it to the back, but he was there. Honestly, without him, I wouldn't have made the play.
And that would have been a momentum shifter in the game.
No, that's a tie game.
It was 2-0 at the time, and if the ball ricochets off his glove, that's 2 runs there.
2 runs, a tie game. And
you got a tie game, you got the crowd with them, and anything can happen here, And they've got plenty of experience. They're a good team, You said it. They're 30-2 or something happened.
Bob, talk to me about out there today, getting settled in, and you get. Was there nerves? It's your first time.
All right, Uncle Mug's back.
You go out there and
I can get rid of these guys. Okay, I'm back. Top of the 5th inning. Argote, Justin Mercado, and the leadoff batter, Kelvin Pereira, are due up for the Hawks. I was reading the chats. 1-0 game, top of the 5th from Fort Myers. Big guy on the mound is Brothwick. He's an Auburn commit, 6'6", throws the first one over for a strike. Runs are at a premium here. What did they do with the teams from yesterday? One of them scored 12, the other one scored 17. And I'm reading some of this, and you guys are saying that the Hawks didn't face. There's a line drive, and it could drop in front of the left fielder, Tripton Thomas. And a solid base hit by Argote. Is that heartache medication guy? Got my heartache medication. He loves that country song. That's his walk-up song. It's going to bring up Mercado, who's been hot lately. Back-to-back innings, the Hawks have the leadoff runner aboard. That pitch to Mercado, he faked a bunt. Took it for a strike. Nobody out, man on first. Throw over there, not in time. Uh-oh, there's a Seahawk flying right over the field right now. Oh, boy. He's doing circles. Oh, I hope it's not a... Is that a Seahawk? There's one that's hit, that's playable to left field. Tripton Thomas is going back. He makes the play. Argote has to go back to first base, even though it was right in front of the warning track. That was a big out. And for a lefty to go that way, that's some good pop. Who's hitting right now? Miami Springs is hitting. They got their leadoff batter in the box here, Kelvin Pereira. He'll be followed by the pitcher, Magdiel Estevez. There's one out. Argote's on first. First pitch swinging, and he skies that one really high to Whitney, and he's camped out under it in center field for the Seahawks, and he makes the second out of the inning quickly. Estevez comes up trying to help his own cause. Pitcher against pitcher. Runner on first, 2 outs, top of the 5th from Fort Myers. Pretty cool to see my alma mater Miami Springs go against my brother's high school. Wait, are you? There's a ball low and away to Estevez. Are you Central? Are you Rebecca Field of Dreams' son or brother? Argote with a moderate lead at first base. And there's a ground ball that's hit toward the right of the second baseman, and he takes it himself. Spikes it on the ground, does Lucas Callaway, as he heads to the dugout in a 1-0 game. As we head to the bottom of the fifth inning, you are listening to Uncle Muggs on FSPN from Fort Myers in a 1-0 game, a Class 3A championship game. And we'll be right back. Cut myself off. We'll be right back right after this. And the Hawks need one out to punch their ticket to Fort Myers to the state tournament. This could be it. I'm going to try to get an interview with head coach David Fanshaw. Thanks for watching, everyone. Uncle Muggs here with David Fanshaw, the winner of the final. And David, I know there's a lot of work yet to be done, but how does it feel to get this far, to get to Fort Myers, to bring your team to the championship?
I mean, it feels amazing. Just the kids have been almost excellent all year. They've bought into what we've tried to preach all year. And, you know, throughout the playoffs and obviously in the regional final, there's nothing else you can ask for, you know. Our leaders stepped up. Rock and Max were great all postseason, and, you know, as well as the other seniors, you know, the kids deserve it, the program deserves it, so there's no better feeling.
It's been a long time since Miami Springs has headed to a championship. Are you going to bring one home for the Hawks?
Oh, we're going to try. School made it for the first time in 2019, and we lost to a good Tampa Jesuit team. And I remember sitting in that post-conference room and telling them that we'd be back. It took a while, but we're going back.
All right, Coach, congratulations once again. Now you can reserve your hotel room.
Yeah, I can.
All right, head coach David Fanshaw heading to Fort Myers with his Golden Hawks for the 3A championship, and you're watching FSPN. All right, welcome back to the bottom of the fifth inning from this very championship, the 3A, which head coach David Fanshaw promised that he'd be back when they were here in 2019, and they got beat. And he said in that conference room that he'd be back, and here they are. And they have the lead. Jackson Perkins steps in from the right side for these South Walton Seahawks. They're led by their head coach, Nick Brothwick. Down by one. First pitch is a ball outside. Perkins grounded to the shortstop. Sorry, a force out at second, fielder's choice. That one's hit hard to Gonzalez. Another great backhand. He throws across the diamond. That's three unbelievable plays by the third baseman. Gonzalez has got the glove. That one was hit hard. It didn't bounce high. It was one of those that roll really hard, and they hugged the ground, just barely hit the bag, but he stayed on it. That ball could have come up at any minute, but he stayed down on it, backhanded from the corner by the grass, and he got there so quick that he got the runner by like 3 steps. I mean, another 5-3. Every put out at third base has been unbelievable. And that one's a high chopper to Perez at shortstop with a lot of spin on it. He gets up on his tippy toes and throws it over to Soto. And a 5-3, 6-3 in like only 3 pitches. I like this. This is called cruising, caballero. 3 lanzamientos, 2 out. Estamos en la parte de abajo del quinto inning. Y el zurdo al bate, Nathan Whitney. Ese fue Charlie Wilcox. Y el zurdo Estevez is pitching. And the first one is a called strike. First pitch strike. I like that. Estevez is on the mound. Come on, it's a 1-2 punch. Estevez is pitching. That one's hit hard to second base. 2 steps to his right goes Torres. And 3 ground balls to each infielder. And that's it. 3 up, 3 down for the Seahawks. we head to the top of the 6th inning. Boy, this game has flown. This game started at 4 o'clock. It's 5:06 right now. You're listening to Uncle Muggs. We could put a ring on him sooner than you think. We'll be right back. Go Springs. Welcome back, all you high school baseball fans, to FSPN's coverage of the Class 3A championship game from Hammond Stadium and the Lee County Sports Complex. It's the FHSAA State Championships. The third batter, fourth batter, and fifth batter are due up for Miami Springs in a 1-0 game. We're heading to the top of the 5th inning. Top of the 6th, I'm sorry. Uncle Muggs bringing you the play-by-play and reading the chats. And I'm learning that there's another committed player on this Seahawk team. And the first pitch from this big boy fire thrower, right hand, big guy Coleman Brothwick, it's a ball. But the DH Wilcox is a Georgia commit. Swing and a miss there. Big swing by Perez. He wanted to make it 2-0 with one swing in the bat, but the count goes 1-1 with nobody out, top of the 6th inning. This can't be an hour and a half game. I want more. This top of the 6th inning. This started at 4 o'clock, right? 4 o'clock game. It's 5:09. That's a taken strike. Evens the count at 2-2 to the right-handed hitting shortstop Roydan Perez. Jordani Gonzalez, or you can call him Craig Nettles. The fourth batter's on deck. There's a hard hit, line drive to right field, and that's going to be a clean base hit for Perez. 3 innings in a row for Miami Springs. They lead it off with the leadoff batter getting on base. Let's see if they can cash in this time. They couldn't cash in on a Justin Mercado leadoff triple in the 3rd. Jordani led off with a base hit in the 4th. In the 5th, Argote led off with a base hit and couldn't cash in. And now Perez is on first base, and there's a hard hit ground ball to their shortstop Wells. He picks it up, only one way to go, first base, and it's not in time. They throw behind the runner to try to get Perez, and he's safe at second. Se formó el tiroteo ese like Tamiami, where the guy gets it and throws to him, and thank goodness that one didn't get away. But you remember when the kids were little, they would throw it to first. They déjate el tiroteo, no hay por qué el tiroteo. Entonces, estamos 1-0 en el 7º, y aquí viene el coach de South Walton, y va a hablar con el pitcher, que es un escaparate. El tipo tiene 6 pies, 6 pulgadas, 200 y pico libras. Y él va a ir a la Universidad de Auburn, que es tremenda universidad en Alabama. Y son buenísimos en el fútbol y en el béisbol. Siempre tienen un buen equipo y siempre cogen los mejores chamacos. Roydan Perez abrió con un sencillo. Jordani tiene un infield hit porque esa pelota se quedó en el cuadro, pero le batió por el piso en el hueco en donde el shortstop de ellos nada más que pudo agarrarla y no tuvo tiempo a tirar porque Jordani sí se mueve. Jordani has good speed, and that was just a talking to from the Seahawks coach. I don't know if it's the head coach, Nick Brothwick, but he's slowly walking back to the dugout now. And Darian Soto is coming up to bat. And if the Hawks do hang on to win, a lot of credit has to be given to the third baseman, Jordani, because he's made 3 excellent plays over there. So Brothwick stays in. Soto squares the bunt. He takes one high for ball 1 with nobody out. And I've said it before, they have another scoring opportunity here. Oh, Wall Street Viking says that the Seahawks like, there's another square to bunt. People are having a hard time bunting here. I saw it last night in the American Heritage game. People striking out bunting. Well, one of the fundamental things in baseball. And you're 17, 18 years old and you can't lay down a bunt. Que barbaridad, compadre. Here's Coach Soto with another attempt, but Brothwick turned to try to get the runner at second base, Perez, but he was only a few feet off the bag and he didn't get fooled with that wheel move. Let's go Hawks, says Tanya Toro. Tanya, I'm with you. I'm with the Hawks. The first baseman is in his pocket. Oh, he pops it up. The catcher turns around, and an easy catch there for Hudson Quinn on a botched bunt attempt by Darian Soto. Kids can't bunt nowadays. Todo mundo, everybody wants to do exit velo and a launch angle. Y para acá y para allá, and that's how they practice, pero no pueden tocar la pelota. Drag bunt. You didn't see drag bunt. I haven't seen a drag bunt in all week. Oh, yeah, I did. Iker Noguera did a beautiful bunt. Lefty. Take it back. One guy in this tournament can bunt. First pitch is outside to Taylor Ancheta, and Taylor has been the difference in this game with a nuclear bomb to right field home run that I think the kids are still looking for that ball. I think it's still in the air. Quickly, one ball outside, no strikes. One out. That one's a strike. Thanks, everybody, for joining us and taking part. Wall Street Viking says, let's go Hawks. All right, you going for the Golden Hawks or the Seahawks? You got to get your Hawks right. This is the battle of the Hawks. You got to know what Hawk you're pulling for. You know, I'm going for the Mississippi State Hawks. It does look like their logo, doesn't it? It looks identical to the Bulldogs, but it's not. It's a very nice logo. I like that. Thank you, Fanshaw, for giving me the hat. I had it on the wall in the studio, and now we have a conference on the mound. Don't think that I'm talking over the action. Nothing's going on. Archeta's still in the box. It's a 1-1 count. There's one out. Runners on first and second. The corners were playing in for the Seahawks, but now the third baseman that was the pitcher, Varnes, he's back behind the bag. So is Cunningham. And if you see these guys, these guys are huge, these Seahawks. Oh, that one kind of buckled Archeta. Archeta kind of, I don't know what happened there. It was an off-speed pitch. Left-handed hitting Archeta. 1 ball, 2 strikes now with 1 out. We need to make contact here. And there's a little one off the foot, but they're going to call it fair. No, the base umpire says it was off the foot. And it was off the foot. It kind of changed the trajectory of the ball. Everybody on the Springs bench is saying, no, that was a hit because it bounced really high. The shortstop ended up getting the ball and wouldn't have had time. He had to eat it. The ball went so high it gave Archeta plenty of time to hustle down the line. But you could tell by the trajectory of the ball, it hit the ground. And if it would have kept going that way, it would have been a ground ball to second base. But it hit something, and that something with his foot shot the ball up in the air. In any case, the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out to the DH, Taylor Ancheta. And if he puts one in the seats here, I'm going to lose my mind. Swing and a miss. There's a strikeout. 2 outs, 2 on. Tanya Toro, I read that one. Let's go Hawks. I'm with you, T. Madeline Roque supporting her brother's team, the Golden Hawks. Nothing like family, man, like blood. You got your little brother on the bump yesterday, and he won the game. That's Kevin Roque. Torres steps in. The second baseman swings at the first pitch and misses. Kevin Roque, 7 croquetas. And they did a great job. They knocked the cover off the ball. Everybody hit. Pereira put one over there in the grassy area by the grassy knoll over there. There's another strike taken. So 2 outs, 0-2. Perez's leadoff base hit is going to get squandered here unless they do something. Giordani's on first base. Perez is on second. Fort Walton, there's one high. one of the texts, somebody saying that Fort Walton was established in 2012. Why are you getting me confused? This is South Walton. Is that part of Fort Walton? I'm going to get out my Google Maps. Here's the 1-2 with 2 outs to Torres. Check swing, and he puts that one in the seats. Miami Springs was established in 1965. It's been 40 years since that school wins any kind of anything. So this would be historic. You guys are listening to history right now with Uncle Muggs. You know, in 20 years, they're going to say, where were you when Miami Springs won? Here's the 1-2, and that one's hit hard to the right side. That one gets past Cunningham's glove, and here comes Perez. No throw from the outfield, and I'm going to put 2 on there for Miami Springs in the top of the 6th inning. Runners on first and second. That ball was hit good to the right side. Jordan Torres is a right-handed hitter. So that one came off the end of the bat, and he hit it off the end of the bat, and it had that funky spin to it. So on the second bounce, Cunningham tried to backhand it. He went to his right at first base for a couple steps. So he tried to backhand it, and it just nicked his glove. And now the South Walton coach is coming out. He's limping over to talk to the home plate umpire, and the crowd's gone nuts here. It's just, the Springs crowd is going nuts. Now he's going to talk to the base umpire. The coach for the Seahawks is coming across the field. And now we thought we were going to get out of here in an hour and a half. Now these are those meetings. These are those matter meetings that take about half an hour when Humberto goes over there to talk to the umpires. So Torres with a base hit scores Perez. Jordani goes to second base. And things are getting, you know, they just raised, like, the tension meter went up. And everybody was, like, kind of relaxed here. The South Walton fans, you know, están ahí tranquilito ahí, you know. Una pila gente from North Florida. You know, they're laid back, they're chill. Pero aquí en este lado están los Miami Springs. Tienen una conga going. And remember, these people are a block away from Hialeah, man. They got the rhythm. They got that Cuban rhythm. And they got the, you know, and they get it going. So Argota steps in. He hit a base hit. He led off the 5th inning with a base hit, and he has 2 runners on. He quickly swings at the first pitch and fouls it straight back with 2 outs. Oh, yeah, you can hear him. You can hear the Miami Hawks, the Miami Springs Hawks fans. Y hace un calor, caballero. I can't express how hot it is. There's a strike on the outside corner. Coleman Brothwick, he came in to relieve Braxton Barnes after just an inning and a third. And he stayed in there the rest of the way. And here's the pitch to Argote, up and in, an easy take, makes it 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs in the top of the 6th in a 2-0 final game. And I'm just noticing this, the Seahawks have 1 hit, 1 error compared to the Golden Hawks, 7 hits and 2 runs. And this one's lifted high to the right side, pero Jackson Perkins is there. He's going to call for it and get it. The Hawks are going to leave 2, but they get 1. They lead 2-0. We're going to head to the bottom of the 6th inning from Fort Myers in a Class 3A championship game. Well, send me the chats. I love the chats. We'll be right back on FSPN. Thanks for listening, everybody. So today I have the honor to give out the very first FSP award to a junior who very well deserves it. This guy hit over 365. He had 35 hits, 31 RBIs. He was consistent as heck at third base defensively, like you wouldn't believe. He was a leader on this team. When they asked him to play another position, he says, no problem, buddy, I'm going to do my best. I want to give this award to Yodeki Quevedo, Junior Player of the Year. Thank you very much, buddy. Thank you. All right, I want to give you this award. It's the first one, and hopefully one day you will be an answer to a trivia question that who received the first FSP, and it was this guy right here. So if you could do me the honor, and please, sácamela, Yodeki. There it is, the Junior Player of the Year, Yodeki Quevedo, the very first SP. And once again, you guys, thank you very much. Parents, everybody involved, thank you for that. Diago, papi. Diago.
Sácame la Mugs.
All right, guys, thank you once again. Uncle Muggs here from the state championships and the FHSAA finals. Uncle Muggs back with you from Fort Myers, and that was fun giving you Lekis. And I have another one here. Let me bring it out before things get crazy. Mira para esto, caballero. I got to treat it with gloves. Esto es un FSP. There's only 11 of them. There's only 11 FSPs, and here's one of them. I'm going to give this one to Kevin Roque because he deserves it. Caballero, hands down pitcher of the year. And his backup, his buddy right now is Estevez. He doesn't know he's getting it. I'm going to do it in the press conference when Miami Springs, win or lose, hopefully win. It'll be a happy press conference. Number 27, Hudson Quinn, the catcher, steps in. He grounded out to second base against Estevez the last time up. And there's one that's low and inside for ball one to the leadoff batter. He's the catcher, Jake Cunningham. We're listening from Miami Springs, La Familia de Austin Argote. Number 6, Abuelita Sonia's listening. He squares the bunt and takes that one low. So Patricia Argote is writing to us on our chat, where you can join us as well. If you guys are out there, have a phone and you want to chat with us. So Patricia says, we're listening from Miami Springs, La Familia de Austin Argote, number 6, Abuela Sonia, Tío Jorge y Tía Patty, everybody in the Springs, listening to Heartbreak Medication. Uno de mis favoritos jugadores en Miami Springs, caballero, es Austin Argote. Here's the pitch from Estevez. It's taken for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike to the catcher. En serio, uno de mis favoritos en este equipo es Austin Argote. And that one's hit hard to Perez and gets by him. Nobody's going to catch that one. That was a hard hit ball by Quinn. And he leads off the bottom of the 6th inning with a base hit. Una línea sencillo para el catcher de los Seahawks. Los dos son Hawks. Unos son Hawks del Mar y los otros somos los Golden Hawks de ahí de Miami Springs. But getting back to Patricia Argote's comment and having everybody listening. Por eso que me gusta hacerlo en español a veces, porque tenemos los abuelitos y los tíos y padrinos y todo el mundo, y Jorge y Patty y la abuela Sonia de Austin Argote, que de verdad es uno de mis favoritos. Cada vez que yo voy a terreno, él es el primero en saludarme, siempre estamos chistando, siempre está alegre y está jugando tremendo left field. Y estoy muy orgulloso por él. Jake Cunningham, la primera base, and he bunts one. Estevez scoops it up, and he goes to Soto at first base. Oh, and they got him. Oh! Okay, he tried that play that they did the other day where the third baseman comes in to cover the bunt, and then he doesn't get back in time. Okay, Hudson came around third, acting like he was going to go to third on this bunt. Estevez only had 1 play, and that was over to first base for the covering Torres, was covering first base. But anyway, Hudson Quinn makes it to second base. It was a sacrifice, and he almost got picked off at second base. So there's 1 out for the leadoff batter and the shortstop, Frank Wells. Frank has struck out and walked. Runner on second. Little small ball here for the Seahawks late in the game. Bottom of the 6th. 1 out, and the first pitch is a ball from Estevez to Frank Wells. Cameron Tipton Thomas is on deck. The lefty Estevez wheels and deals, and that one's up high. The count goes 2-0. And maybe somebody should come out there and just talk to him a little bit, settle him in. I see Coach Dominguez. See Jesus up there on the top step. They might come out there if Wells gets on base for the Seahawks. I'm going to get to the chat in a minute. State semifinals and cabinet, says Wall Street Viking. George Khalil, I've heard that name. George Khalil says, once a Hawk, always a Hawk. And here he comes right on cue. Here comes the coach to talk to Estevez. The count is 2-0. There's 1 out. Runner on second base. Let's go over some of these. Tanya Toro says, let's bring it home, Springs. Always a Hawk. Rebecca Field of Dreams agrees with that the state semifinal championship in the semifinals should be at least a 2 out of 3 series. That's a lot of baseball, folks. And there's prom and all that, and they just played 3 series that were 2 out of 3. Kovamal, Kovamal on Instagram says, Miami Springs, let's go. Patricia Argota says bilingüe. She's probably correcting my Spanish. Listen, I never claimed to be a Spanish major or anything like that. I do the best I can with the Spanglish that I know. Madeline Roque says go Springs, and her brother's team. Frank Wells gets back in the box to face Estevez. 2 balls, no strikes with a runner on second base in a 2-0 game. Wow, that one almost got away from Pereira. 3-0. And usually that's not the case. Usually when the pitching coach goes out there to talk to you, you come back and you throw a strike or two. But now it's 3-0 with first base open. Torres in and out at second base with the runner. And there's that graphic again. It's happened all week long. 3 balls and no strikes. And I swear 95% of the time the pitcher throws a strike. And people are saying, where were you, 2 or 3 pitches ago? That one's way outside, first and second now. A little bit of complication here. Aero, hay un out. Los corredores en primera y segunda base para los South Walton Seahawks. Los que están opuestos a los Miami Hawks, los Miami Springs Golden Hawks. And that brings up the left fielder, Cameron Tipton Thomas. He's a right-handed batter. 2 runners are on to face Estevez. And remember that double play in the first inning? We can use one of those right here. First pitch is inside and low for ball 1, and here comes the coach on the field. This is like having a pitching coach on the field in Kelvin Pereira, and he comes out. He must have saw something in Estevez's mechanics or just coming out there and trying to fix some things. And his knowledge of pitching has been a tremendous asset for these Golden Hawks this year. And you can ask David Fanshaw or Coach Dominguez or anybody in that dugout. It's just like having a coach on the field. So 1 ball, no strike to count to Cameron Tipton Thomas of the South Walton Seahawks. Estevez holds the ball for a long time. Looks at everybody. Finally deals. And there's a strike on the inside corner. The count evens at 1-1. Vamos, Maldiel and Kelvin. Sigan repartiendo croquetas, says Andrés Sayas. I'm with you, Andrés. Tengo un hambre right now que yo me comería. Oh, and that one got away from Pereira. The runners are going to advance. Y ese lanzamiento fue bajito y hacia los pies del bateador, el bateador derecho, que es el left fielder Cameron Tipton Thomas. Y se le escapó el guante al receptor Pereira, Kelvin Pereira, que siempre él las coge, pero estaba demasiado acerca de los pies del bateador. El bateador brincó, él se tiró a la derecha y ahora hay corredores en segunda y tercera base en un juego que está 2-0 en favor de los Golden Hawks de Miami Springs. So runners on second and third for the the Seahawks in a 2-0 game. And here's Estevez facing the second batter, Cameron Tipton Thomas. Estevez deals and kicks, and there's a hard ground ball over the mound. 2 hops to Torres at second base. They're going to get an out, but they're going to concede a run. Una carrera va a anotar, and they cut the lead in half. Estamos 2-1 en favor de Miami Springs en la parte de abajo del sexto inning. Y eso fue un fielder's choice. Y Hudson Quinn anotó. Le van a dar la base por bola intencional al tercer bate a Coleman Brathwaite para poder buscar el doble play. Tener un force out en segunda base. Le dan la base a tercer base, que es un escaparate. I would too. Anybody over 6'4" in a 1-run game with 2 outs, and you're the third batter, that's a no-brainer. You're going to get first base, and we're going to have a pinch runner coming in, and it's Fowler. Dylan Fowler. Tough to read the handwriting. It could be Dylan or Dylan Fowler is coming in to run for this huge guy, Coleman Borthwick. I get it. They don't want to waste him running around. Guy's pitching. He needs all the energy. Oh, that wasn't an error. Okay, that wasn't an error by Pereira at all. That got by him. Okay, Benito Santiago doesn't catch that. Maybe Pudge. First and third with 2 outs. All right, a ground ball will get us out of here. And there's a strike over for a called strike with 2 out. First and third, Frank Wells, the shortstop's at third base. Estevez takes his time. He kicks and he deals. And Braxton Barnes takes one outside. He was the starting pitcher. Now he's playing third base. And if you thought Borthwick was big, Braxton Barnes is just as big. 1-1 the count to the third baseman. 2-1 ball game. Bottom of the 6th. Runners in the corners. I wouldn't be surprised if Fowler goes. That one's low and inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Fowler on first base. Every time Estevez, the lefty, kicks, he kind of jumps back to first, so I don't think he's going to go. And Pereira's got a gun back there, so Wells looks like he can run. He's standing on third base. 2 balls, 1 strike. The lefty Estevez kicks and deals, and that one's a little high, just out of the strike zone. The count goes 3-1. And now you're starting to hear the Seahawk fans. They were quiet for a long time. Coleman knockout. Coleman knock it out. Oh, Coleman knock it out. Well, they gave him an intentional walk. He's not going to knock out anything. There's a strike called. 3-2. The count goes full. Grady Daddy, he got intentionally walked. The guy's 6'6". Has a chance to win the game. You're not going to let that guy beat you. Going to do your best with Braxton Barnes. He can hit too. You know, he's another good hitter. We'll see what happens here. Full count. 2 on, 2 out. Bottom of the 6th. Runner goes. And that one's lifted to right field, a short right field. And here comes, wow, and he had to battle the sun on that one. The fielder only, Andres Suarez. And if you want to call that dodging a bullet, I'd get out of the way of that like a matrix, because that bullet was coming at him, and he caught it for the 3rd out. The Seahawks are going to leave 2, but they cut the lead in half. They get 1. We're going to head to the top of the 7th from Fort Myers in the Class 3A FHSAA Championship. You're listening to Uncle Muggs on FSPN, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll be right back. And the Hawks need 1 out to punch their ticket to Fort Myers to the state tournament. This could be it. I'm going to try to get an interview with head coach David Fanshaw. Thanks for watching, everyone. Uncle Muggs here with David Fanshaw, the winner of the final. And David, I know there's a lot of work yet to be done, but how does it feel to get this far, to get to Fort Myers, to bring your team to the championship?
I mean, it feels amazing. Just the kids have been almost excellent all year. They've bought into what we've tried to preach all year, and you know, throughout the playoffs and obviously in the regional final, there's nothing else that you can ask for. You know, our leaders stepped up. Rock and Max were great all postseason, and you know, as well as the other seniors. You know, the kids deserve it, the program deserves it. So there's no better feeling.
It's been a long time since Miami Springs is headed to a championship. Are you going to bring one home for the Hawks?
Oh, we're going to try. School made it for the first time in 2019, and we lost to a good Tampa Jesuit team. And I remember sitting in that post-conference room and telling them that we'd be back. It took a while, but we're going back.
All right, Coach, congratulations once again. Now you can reserve your hotel room.
Yeah, I can.
All right, head coach David Fanshaw heading to Fort Myers with his Golden Hawks for the 3A championship, and you're watching FSPN.
All right, Uncle Muggs here from Fort Myers, where it's the Seahawks of South Walton that are battling the Hawks, the Golden Hawks of Miami Springs. And you're listening to FSPN. It's been a battle royal. Top of the 6th inning, the Golden Hawks scored a run, and they were answered by the Seahawks. They scored a run as well, and it's 2-1. We have Justin Mercado, Kelvin Pereira, Magdiel Estevez, and Roy Don Perez up to bat for the Miami Springs Hawks. Patricia Argote says, bring it home, Golden Hawks. Brothwick is still on the mound. Throws that one over for a strike to Mercado. Mercado had a triple in that regional final against St. Brendan's. Brothwick throws hard. That one's inside and low. Wait, este no es Brothwick. Esto es Carter Hawkins. ¿Qué número es el pitcher? Sorry, we got some technical. 22. 22 is the pitcher. Yeah. Charlie Wilcox is the pitcher. Wilcox throws low and inside to Mercado. The count goes 2-2. With nobody out here in the top of the 7th inning, a 2-1 Class 3A final. Hawks versus Seahawks. We know who you're going for, Grady Daddy. Strike 3 called. I've been saying that a lot this week. Strike 3 called. Leadoff batter, catcher, had a home run yesterday. He's grounded out and flied out and struck out today. It's Kelvin Pereira. And on deck is Magdiel Alvarez in a 2-1 game, top of the 7th inning. There's 90 of you guys listening to Uncle Muggs. I hope everybody's subscribing. Check swing taken low. Ball 1 to Pereira. And if you've subscribed already, go grab the person right next to you. Take their phone, go to the YouTube app, and subscribe and follow. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Here we go. 1 ball, no strikes to the catcher with 1 out in the top of the 7th. Big swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch that was low and away. Count goes even at 1-1. 2 hits for the Seahawks, 7 hits and 2 runs for the Golden Hawks. Wilcox's pitch is fouled to the right side. Georgia Tech commit, right-handed pitcher, 93-94. I think this is their ace. Wow, swing and a miss. Yeah, that guy's throwing hard. And he's got Roger Clemens as number 22, and he kind of even looks like Roger Clemens. He's built like a skinny Roger Clemens. But that's a big boy from here. Magdiel steps into the box after a strikeout to his catcher. Back-to-back strikeouts for this big guy, Charlie Wilcox. Yeah, I saw that, Madeline. They changed pitchers. It just takes me. This is not Fox, okay? We're not ABC Sports or anything like that. Estoy solito aquí. Wilcox deals and caught a piece of him. Estevez took one on that protector that he has on the forearm elbow area, and he's hit by a pitch with 2 outs. The Hawks are going to have a runner on first base for Roydan Perez. Courtesy runner coming in for Magdiel Estevez, the pitcher. It's the backflip guy, Spencer Hilton. So Spencer Hilton comes in to run with 2 outs. Roydan is the batter. And I don't know what they could be discussing. Courtesy runner for the pitcher. Now, if Hilton can run as good as he backflips, he's not taking a very big lead. Cunningham is holding him on. Wilcox from the stretch comes set. And that one's hard but low. You're right. Oh, hey, this guy throws hard. Hilton on first base with 2 outs. If this was the game plan, kind of working out for the Seahawks. That's a strike called. The count goes to 1-1 with 2 outs in the top of the 7th in a 2-1 game. So Grady Daddy says that Coach Brothwick for the Seahawks knows what he's doing with the game plan on the pitching. I mean, you got to bring everybody is available here, Grady Daddy. I mean, I can even throw for these guys. There's one in the dirt, an easy take. 2 balls and 1 strike. And these last games that everybody's available. You got a uniform on, you're good. I get it. I get it. You want to throw your closer there at the end when the game is close to keep it tight. Hilton on first base, maybe another step. And he's not even a big lead. He's check swing low. Umpire says he didn't go around. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runner on first base for the Golden Hawks that are leading 2-1. Tell your friends to join us. This is a fun broadcast. Might even say a bad word or two. No, I won't. I won't. There's kids involved. I'm just kidding. Wilcox comes set. He takes a peek at Hilton, and he walks him. That was an easy take for Roydan Perez. And now Gonzalez comes up, the 4th batter. Spencer Hilton makes his way to second base. Jordani steps in, and he's 2 for 3 on the day with 3 spectacular plays over at third base. Jordani Gonzalez, number 14. Your infield for the Seahawks, it's Barnes, Wells, Caraway, and Cunningham. Hudson Quinn behind the plate, and Charlie Wilcox on the mound for the South Walton Seahawks. Wow, that one goes over Gonzalez's head. That's an easy take. That's one of those Mitch Williams style pitches. And if you guys don't remember who Mitch Williams is, Google him. He pitched for the Chicago Cubs. He was a premier closer for a while, and his nickname was Wild Thing. And here comes Nick Brothwick. He's going to come out and talk to Charlie Wilcox on the mound. They're going to have a little meeting. I'm going to go over all the chats that we have here. Wall Street Viking. Being from Miami Springs but living in Walton, North Florida, I can root for both. Miami Springs is a Cinderella story, and it's actually amazing if you look at their field compared to Walton. And you know, Wall Street Viking, with all due credit, I don't know if you guys are a public school, and I don't know what the funding is like up there for the sports, but yeah, it's in rough shape, but it is what it is. You play on the field that's given to you. Miami Springs does just that. They upkeep it as best as they can. They're limited funding because it's a public school. And after a brief mound visit, 1 ball, no strikes to the third baseman, Jordani Gonzalez, with 2 outs, and he takes a mighty cut at a high fastball from Wilcox to even the count. 1-1 with 2 outs, top of the 7th, and 2 on for the Golden Hawks that are up 2-0. Wilcox takes a peek at the runner, Spencer Hilton, on second base. He took too much time for Gonzalez's liking, and he stepped out. You can watch the live stream. I think it's HFSN Network. HS. Wow, another swing and a miss. This guy throws hard. Oh, great booster club. No wonder they're getting things done over there at Walton. Borthwick. Okay, it's Borthwick. Borthwick. Thank you for the correction. I went to a public school. You could tell. My public school education pops out every now and then, and that ball went low. So it will be Borthwick and not the Brothwick. We're going to go Borthwick. 2-2, 2 outs to the batter, Jordani Gonzalez. Wilcox comes set, takes a look at Spencer Hilton on second base. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It's fouled to the right side, and there's a $12 souvenir for somebody. These kids here at Hammond Stadium, they're fast. The ball barely bounces, and they got 2 or 3 bodies all over it. Even in this heat, they're out there working it. Working those foul balls, you get to keep them here at Hammond Stadium in the finals. We'll do the 2-2 all over again with 2 out and 2 on in the top of the 7th in a 2-1 game. Wilcox deals, swung on and missed. A huge strikeout there for the Seahawks. And it looks like head coach Nick Borthwick knows what he's doing with the pitchers. You were right, Grady Daddy. He got it done in that inning. Left 2 stranded. We're going to head to the bottom of the 7th in a 2-1 game. And the Hawks are 3 outs away from beating the Hawks. And the Hawks are only 1 run away from tying the Hawks. And you're watching FSPN. We'll be right back, everybody.
Well, Chappie, before we get into the recap, some of the pitchers from around the league were giving out so many croquetas, and they were nice enough to send us some. These right here are some special Miami Springs croquetas from Kevin Roque. These are delicious. You got to try the Andy Espinoza croquetas. Those are really good. And I heard that the lefty croquetas are the best. The Luis Sosa and Magdiel Estevez ones. Those are really good.
I heard in this, though, there's also some Marcelo Rodriguez croquetas.
Rodriguez makes a good croqueta.
Rios from Columbus makes some really good ones over there.
And you got to try the Dominican croquetas from our friend Alfred Rosario and Isaac Vidal. They make a very special.
Yeah, those Dominicans, they know how to make them real good.
Welcome back, everybody, to the bottom of the 7th inning in the Class 3A. Roland Perez is late coming back to the field. And now we're going to get the bottom of the 7th started with Jackson Perkins, Charlie Wilcox, and Nathan Whitley. And thank you for the help with the pronunciation. Yes, I'm a one-man show. I don't have a crew in the trailer, in the parking lot. I don't have a producer or a director in the headsets. It's only me, myself, and I, so us 3 are doing the best we can with Perkins batting from the right side to face Estevez in a 2-1 game, and he just catches the corner with that fastball for a strike. So we got the name of the coaches right. Everybody happy now? Perkins, that's an easy one. I like eating there. There's a hard hit ball, but foul down the left field side. Another $12. Quickly 0-2 to the right fielder. Pereira lines up a little bit outside. He crouches down for Estevez. And there's a slow hit ground ball just to the left side. Foul. 0-2 the count. 3 outs away for Dade County's second title. Hard hit ball the right side this time and just foul. Perkins spraying the ball all over the place. That one stays in the ballpark, so he just saved $12. Ball's being thrown in by the right fielder, Andres Suarez. Andres is not batting today, but he is playing right field. Mercado's in center field. And Austin Argote, if everybody in Hialeah is worried about Austin Argote, he's almost in Naples. He's 1, 2, 3 feet off of the warning track. Porque esta gente batean. South Walton tiene unos escaparates. Tienen uno que tiene 6 pies, 6 pulgadas. El otro tiene 6'4". El Cargabate tiene 6 pies. Para que tú veas. Son unos monstruos. Here's Estevez's pitch. The 0-2. Way outside. An easy take for Wilcox. For Perkins. Estevez, the lefty, comes set Everybody's back. Infield's playing back. Swing and a miss and a huge croqueta. I think the fans over there in Miami Springs just multiplied. Where those people come from? Llegaron una primo de los primos aquí a Fort Myers. Seguro que los llamaron. Están llenando el estadio de todo el mundo aquí de Miami Springs. Seguro que llamaron a los primos y dijeron, oye, estamos ganando, hace falta tu apoyo, ven para acá. Y se montaron a I-75. Le pasaron por al lado los Alligator. Y aquí están. Charlie Wilcox is on the mound. He's the pitcher and takes a strike with one out in the bottom of the 7th. A kick and a deal and a swing and a foul ball. Wow, and I didn't imagine this game after these two teams put up 29 runs between them. Or 31 runs, was it? There goes my public school math. Anyway, they scored a ton of runs yesterday. And now today to only score 3 runs on 9 hits is head-scratching. Wilcox, the batter, with 2 strikes. Esteves kicks and deals. Called croquetica. Wilcox can't believe it. The Springs fans are only 1 out away. And I wish I could be more excited, but I mean, I've seen so much that I'm like shell-shocked. I don't want to jump or freak out until, you know, everything happens. So 2 outs. Nobody on. 2-1. Nathan Whitney, the center fielder who's walked and grounded to second, steps in to the box to face Esteves. I'm going to get excited in a minute. You watch. Hey, that's a strike. Started him off with a strike. Boy, that's composure. That is not letting the moment. Oh, boy. Hey, I know you guys like your guy, man. You're this Nick Borthwick. Great guy, I'm sure. But, boy, he calls a lot of timeouts. He's coming out now to put his hand on Wilcox's head and on Whitney's head and whispered something to him. Like maybe he said hit one out. But Whitney steps in with some fluorescent pink shoes. Everybody's back there. Well, the outfielder came in a little bit. This is the 7th batter. Nathan Whitney. That one's so inside that it got away from everybody. Went all the way back to the backstop. So evens the count at 1-1. Okay, now most every Miami Springs fan, except for maybe a dozen of them, have come down. They all have their phones out. Here's the pitch from Esteves, and that one's lifted and going foul. Gonzalez runs out of room, and it goes over the fence. And the Golden Hawks in Miami Springs are just 1 strike away from bringing home a title that hasn't happened in Miami Springs for over 40 years. And I want to thank head coach David Fanshaw. I want to thank everybody. Kane's Cat Heat 35, thank you. Patricia Argote, thank you. Tanya, thanks for Madeline Roque, of course. We're going to have to get you a ring, Madeline. What's the ring size? What do you got, like a 6.5? I'll tell Fanshaw to make you a ring. I hope I get a ring from them. I should get a ring. I'll pay for my own ring. Esteves comes set finally. He kicks and deals for the title. And that one pops out of the Pereira's glove. It's strike 3. The Springs are going to win after this throw. And here they come. They storm the field. I'm going to get a video of this, so pardon me if I tap out for a second. But I got this once in a lifetime, and it hasn't happened in 40 years. And here they come. Wow, there's La Pilita. Wow, this is awesome. Let me go. The game's over. I mean, what are they going to do, throw me out? Champions. Unbelievable. I'm going to go to the press conference now with my Miami Springs hat. Congratulations, guys. Voy para allá a sacar foto. Voy a sacar foto con mi gente. Me voy a comer un chewy protein bar. And, wow. This was a good one. Uncle Muggs, I just want to say thanks to everybody. Thanks for watching FSPN. That was a quick game. Less than 2 hours, that game was over. We're going to do the highlights now of the American Heritage game right after this at 7 o'clock. That's going to be good, but I'm going to go down and congratulate Fanshaw. Congratulations to everybody, all the Miami Springs. Again, thank you for your participation. And yeah, thanks for everybody. I'm trying to read. He came from Hialeah High School. They won because of Coach Bob. Coach Bob was the lucky charm. He spent 20 years in Hialeah, and we got him over here in Miami Springs. Congratulations, everybody. Congratulations, David Fanshaw. We love you guys. And next time we'll see you, we'll probably be at Summer Ball. We're going to be here next week in West Palm Beach, where we're going to see the first tournament of the 17 and under. The lead squad's going to be there. San Diego Padres scout team is going to be there. Los Explorers are going to be there, and there's a lot of talent in those summer programs, and that's where FSPN is going next. Sunday, we have Inside the Park. Please join Chappie and myself.